Good afternoon. This is Public Speaking and Presenting Made Easy, episode number 5, Facing Your Fears. Public Speaking and Presenting Made Easy is an online show and podcast. It's full of tools, tips, techniques, and advice in bite-sized chunks that will help you stand up and speak with confidence every single time. Now, I spent 2 years asking hundreds of people what they found difficult about public speaking and presenting, and this podcast is all about the things that they told me, and I'm going to show you how to overcome all those difficulties. So if you want to know how to beat anxiety brought on by public speaking and presenting, if you want to know how to structure and write your talk for maximum impact, and if you want to influence your audience to take action or decide to buy something, then this is the podcast for you. We're always friendly, always to the point, no waffle, no padding. This is Public Speaking and Presenting Made Easy. And this week, I'm talking about facing your fears. And later on, I'm going to offer you access to a free webinar. Now, I can only remember 2 occasions when my father took me to the cinema, when it was just the 2 of us on a boys' night out. And both times, it was a complete disaster. Now, if you're old enough, you might remember when movie certificates in the UK were based on letters and not numbers. You had certificate U, which was for everyone. A meant adult accompaniment required for children under 11, and a double A was for people aged over 14 only. Now, when the Clint Eastwood techno thriller Firefox was released in 1982, I was 12 years old, and I convinced my dad to take me. And it wasn't a hard sell because he was a major Clint Eastwood fan and a lover of fast jets. Now, Firefox was a certificate AA, and being only 12, I told Dad that the meaning of the AA certificate had changed, which meant you could go in if you were under 14, provided there was an adult with you. However, when we got to the cinema and Dad was reading all the certificate explanation posters in the foyer, they were very clear that under 14s were not going to be allowed in. And there was a very stony silence in the car on the way home shortly afterwards. Now, on reflection, I think it was Dad's fault, not mine, for even considering listening to a teenage boy for advice on the legal requirements for cinema viewing. And of course, for not remembering the last time he took me to the cinema, which had been 7 years previously. Now, that was supposed to be a male bonding experience, as Dad and I went to see the first ever summer blockbuster movie. So before this particular film came out, the big movies usually were released in the autumn, when people had less to do and the evenings were cold. But because of production problems, this film missed its planned release of Christmas 1974, and instead it came out in the summer of 1975. And that film was Jaws. Doo-dum, doo-dum. Now, I don't remember much of the movie, except the finale with the giant rubber shark as it started to eat the boat and it dragged a screaming Robert Shaw into the sea, spurting blood and gore. It was at this point that I turned to my dad and said, "Daddy, I'm scared. I want to go home." So Dad rolled his eyes and we left the cinema before the end of the film. Car, stony silence. I'm sure you know the drill. Now, ever since that day, I had never watched the film Jaws again until last week. I decided to go back and face my fears and rewatch Jaws all the way through, rubber shark and all. Now, I may have squinted a few times as the tension built, but I did not need to leave the room. Now, some things that scare us witless the first time we encounter them are not quite so scary when we return to them with a bit of perspective. That new perspective can help, and it might be the passage of time, it might be the fact that we've gained experience, or maybe we took some proactive steps to train ourselves or learn some techniques for dealing with stress and anxiety. But that new perspective changes everything. Kay says she can't watch Jaws even to this day. Well, let me tell you, Kay, things that scared you once do not need to scare you forever. At school, we're taught that we live in this kind of cause and effect universe. If you put your hand in the fire, you will get burnt. Always true for everyone. But some things that we think of as being a cause and effect relationship actually, those things aren't true for everyone. Take public speaking, for example. Now, is it true that everyone in the country experiences kind of flop sweats and sleepless nights at the thought of standing up in front of a crowd and giving a speech? No, of course not. Is it even true for everyone in your business? No. Is it going to be true for everyone in your family? Probably not. See, some people get the anxiety and the fear, but some don't. So it can't be the act of public speaking in itself that causes the effect, the fear and the loathing. It must be something else. And that something else is the beliefs that we hold about public speaking, the beliefs that we hold about ourselves. And you see, if it's the belief rather than the thing itself that's causing us the problem, then actually that's really good news, because you are 100% in charge of your beliefs and you can choose to change them. Now, there's this old guy in Greece called Epictetus. Okay, Epictetus, easy for you to say, right? And he wore a toga, so he must have been intelligent, Greek philosopher. But he said, it's not the events in our lives that disturb us, but the view that we take of them. It's not the events in our lives that disturb us, but the view that we take of them. See, our thoughts and our feelings and even the decisions that we make, they're all shaped by our beliefs. And these beliefs all operate in our subconscious mind. So the fear and anxiety that we feel when speaking in public, no matter how large or small the audience, that is a learned behaviour. If you've ever spent any time with small children, especially if there's like a family gathering or a party or something, you will know that most of them love the spotlight. Everyone look at me, they say. Let me sing you a song. Let me do a dance. Let me show you my kung fu moves. We're not born shy, but often we learn to be shy because of the experiences that we endure as we grow up. So this means that the fear of public speaking, glossophobia, to give it its technical term, the fear of public speaking is a learned behaviour. And if it's a learned behaviour, then we can unlearn it as well. Now we can change our beliefs by thinking about what we think about. This kind of moves those beliefs from our subconscious into our conscious mind. And through repetition and some thought exercises, we can train our thoughts to take new and different default routes. Our train of thought can go in different directions. So that the thought of public speaking no longer causes us to fear instinctively. No longer this instinctive reaction of fear and loathing, but instead excitement, anticipation. And the scientists don't agree how long it takes, but the range is somewhere between 20 and 40 days is how long it takes to completely replace one belief with another. And in the context of your career, in the context of your life, 20 days is nothing, right? Now, if you want to learn some more about this, I've recently ran a webinar which introduced my approach to speaking with confidence. And you can watch the replay at malmesbury-speakers.com/webinar. That's at malmesbury-speakers.com/webinar. And on the same page, you can sign up for regular public speaking and presenting tips. So when we change our perception, whether that's through training or through our experiences, the things that used to scare us don't scare us anymore. Okay, you can face your fear with confidence and discover actually it's not fear anymore. This has been episode 5 of Public Speaking and Presenting Made Easy, Facing Your Fears. If you're watching on YouTube, click that subscribe button. If you're on Facebook, like the Malmesbury Speakers Academy page, or subscribe to the audio podcast on your favourite podcast app. You'll find us on Apple and Google Podcasts, or on Spotify, or on iHeartRadio, and many others. Just search for Public Speaking and Presenting Made Easy. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Until next time, bye for now.